Good morning. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to be doing the What Sold video for a Monday through Thursday. I think it's been a little while. It is February 9th through the 12th. Yeah, we're a little bit behind.
A few days.
Just a few days. All right. My sales were terrible. I hadn't started promoting again. I've talked about that in a previous video. I am promoting again. Am I seeing an uptick yet? No.
A little bit, maybe. In Rebel Store, we've seen some change. Your impressions have gone up, which is what you expect to get from promoting. You expect more eyeballs to see your listing on the screen. Doesn't mean they clicked on it. Views have not really gone up yet. And is that just because of the way the shopping is? Because it's February, and February is always the worst month of the year for us. Now, my store, when I started promoting, I started getting more impressions, of course, because you promote, you're going to get seen more because eBay bumps you in the algorithm, and you're paying for that. But I also started getting a significant increase in organic views, organic impressions, not views. And it's almost like eBay was suppressing my listings. Views are up a little bit for me because I do close. Toys are usually down for us at this time of year by quite a bit. Sales are about the same, but at least I'm getting the impressions and the views now, which will eventually lead to more sales as, things pick up.
So let me go ahead and share with you my Etsy and my Poshmark sales. But when we get to Mercari, I only had one sale. Let's talk about the new shipping rate. We talked about it in my live yesterday, but for those that don't watch my live, go watch it. We talked about this change and how are you dealing with a certain aspect of it. But let me go ahead and share with you some of my sales from Poshmark, Etsy, Mercari, eBay.
Before you get started with that, are you happy, Shani? Are you happy?
All right. First thing that sold on Poshmark was this Anna Lee white ballerina rabbit. Now, I've been putting any listings $10 and up over there. Just a lot of them are my old ones that I had just dropped the price. And, it's moving. With Poshmark, the fees, if your item sells for under $15, the fee is $2.95. So on this item, I made $7.05. Anything over $15 is 20%. And then another $10 sale. And y'all, both of these had been listed for quite a while, so I'm glad to see them gone. This was a Rex Lee library building. It's for a Christmas village from 1994, and it too sold for $10. And then Etsy. I think my best sell was on Etsy. Y'all, I am shocked for how much this sold for and how quickly. This was the Play School dollhouse, kitchen, hutch, and these accessories ended up actually going to that set. I kicked myself because at that same sale that I picked this up, this was that estate sale we went to a couple of weeks ago. There was the table and chairs to this, but one of the chairs, I think, or the table was damaged and I didn't pick it up. I regret that now. I probably could have sold this for like $60 with the table and chairs, but I am thrilled that, the hutch, the 3 accessories, and then that basket was actually sat on top of the dining room table. It sold very, very quickly for $39.95. I paid 50 cents for this. All right, and then this Tasmanian Devil plastic cup sold for $12.95. I've got another one over here. Exact same one, needs to be cleaned, and then I'm going to get it listed also. This was a Mattel Barbie Skipper Phone Fun Courtney from 1995, sold on Etsy for $34.95. And then my best sell of that week, Monday through Thursday, was this Fisher-Price Great Adventures Western Town with cowboys and horses. I picked this up at a thrift store. I bought 3 sets. I think 2 of them were like $20 and one was $25. or one was 20 and two were 25. So I had spent $65 on the 3 sets. I think this might be the last one. I had the treehouse, I had the ship, and then I had this Western Town. It sold on Etsy for $109.95. And then Mercari only sold this one item. It was the IKEA pink pig plush for $9.95. But for those of you who sell on Mercari, on February 16th, Mercari announced that they were going to be offering discounted shipping, 1 to 5 pounds for $4.99 on UPS and FedEx. I'm looking here at the notes. It says UPS Ground Saver and FedEx Economy. I'll never use FedEx. But here was my thought on it. It is only going through April 16th. What's going to happen on April 16th? I know I've seen lots of people saying that they are changing their shipping to the $4.99 to take advantage of this discounted shipping. But what about the stuff that once that discount goes away is going to be elevated prices compared to the USPS Ground Advantage?
So you're talking things that are like 8 ounces.
8 ounces, 12 ounces. All of that right now, can go $4.99 Ground Saver. But they didn't make it easy. There's no quick button that you can click and says, yes, change all of my listings to $4.99. So I don't think they're going to have a quick button to change everything back. So it's going to hurt those people who have this stuff listed and it's now, $7, $8, $9 shipping compared to, the $5 to $6 that it is for USPS Ground Advantage. So me personally, as I'm cross-listing right now, I didn't change anything. I've had one person send me a message that said, can I get discounted shipping? And I changed it and I made the sell. But as I'm cross-listing right now, I am not using the $4.99 shipping for anything under a pound. I don't want to have to go back April 16th and change everything. There's just no easy way to do it. So anybody else have that same logic, that same, line of reasoning that you're not doing it also? Or are you doing it and you'll just deal? Like for me right now, I have over 4,000 listings on Mercari. There is just absolutely no way I would be able to go back and change all of that. It's not an easy sort or anything. So just food for thought. If you are doing that, maybe try to figure out how are you going to fix this come April 16th and everything changes again? Because Ground Saver is not always cheaper than, the UPS Ground Saver is not always cheaper than the USPS Ground Advantage. So that is just my thoughts.
How much is an 8 ounce package on Mercari anyway? Is it $5.29?
I think it's $5.29.
So it's only saving 30 cents on the shipping cost on that. But then if it goes back, then you're going to be charging $7.99 or whatever it is.
$7.99 for normal, under a pound Ground Saver. So, because right now when I list stuff, if it's over a pound, I will, do the $4.99, and I would have been doing Ground Saver anyway. So it's not going to make a difference for those listings when it changes. But, I don't know. To me, it just seems like there's going to be a whole lot of people stuck with elevated shipping charges once this special ends.
That won't be fun to have to go back and fix. I know with listing clothes, I think I only had one small top that was 8 ounces. And I marked it at the regular $5.29 or whatever it was.
And then eBay. Y'all, like I said, my sales have not been that great. I did have a couple of really nice sales on eBay, which helped my numbers. But this first one was an AJ Renz blow mold bank. I picked up 2 of these at my favorite little estate sale company. I think I've sold the first one. It sold on eBay for $32. One of my lots. Come to find out, I had the same style rabbits in 4 different colors. I had picked up one and realized I had several listed. So I made one listing And the 4 of them sold for $17.95. D&D, I don't pick up a whole lot of that anymore. This is a very old listing. Sold for $8.96. Pretend Play doll accessories. I never did figure out who the manufacturer was. This lot ended up selling for $13.45. Douglas Bearbanks plush. This is by North American Bear Company. I picked up several of these at the St. Louis bins. Probably won't pick them up again. Although I've sold, I want to say a set of 2 and then this one, all probably in the last month. They're heavy and they just don't sell very quickly. This has been listed probably over a year. And it sold for $16.16. Kohl's Mo Willems Elephant and Pig Plush sold for $14. Hydraulic Gramercy Women's Jeans. I still have some jeans and shoes and hats that never did make it over to Robert's store before we changed over to Nifty. This pair of jeans sold for $13.21. And if you're new to my channel, I don't do free shipping, so the buyer has also paid extra for shipping. Russ Toby, the Gray Rabbit Plush, sold for $17.95. Purple Teddy Bear Plush with the embroidered eyes. If I have space in a title, I tend to try to put embroidered eyes. You know, it's just something people are searching for. You know, sometimes it's for a baby, sometimes it's for a pet, and they just don't want those hard plastic eyes. This bear sold for $12.58. I'm thinking it's been listed a while, and I'm just wondering, you know, I talked about this the other day. If I Google lensed it now, would I be able to figure out who the manufacturer is? You know, at the time that I listed it, I couldn't, but you know, it's always changing, and I have done that several times in the last month and was able to figure out who a manufacturer is on an item that's been listed for a while. Dimensions Cruel Fancy Clown Kit from 1984 sold for $12.11. Kermit the Frog figure with the guitar and a little storage box sold for $20. Lil Bub cat plush. I guess he had a big following on YouTube and Facebook. I don't remember ever seeing anything about him, but there's this whole series of plush named after him, and I don't find it very often. This one sold for $15.25. Parents' Choice Lovey, lots of bread and butter sales. This one was for $8.96. And then this Burton Blue Rabbit plush, again, not a brand I would pick up anymore unless it's something unique. $8.96. Brown Bear plush, again, didn't have a manufacturer. Sold for $8.96. Yeah, I couldn't read it. All it says is toy. Something toy. Don't know. Petting Zoo. I like that brand, but again, a lot of it's bread and butter. This was $8.96. Slumberkin. I bought a bunch of them at the bins in St. Louis. I want to say the last trip. Yeah, not this past trip, the trip before that. This little mini strawberry from 2022 sold for $20. Baby Gon's Blue Soft Spot Puppy Dog sold for $12.11. Black's Law Dictionary. How much did you pay for this? $5, right?
Maybe $5.
I think $5. We listed it in November, so it didn't take very long to sell. It sold for $45.
It was in the basement of an estate sale, and they had a bunch of law books, but that was the only one that seemed like it was going to be worth much money.
Carhartt men's jeans sold for $11.41. Dang, those had lots of stains on them. It's in my description, but yeah. Robert and his damaged, distressed pants.
Did we make a profit?
Yes.
You leave me alone.
All right, and then this was just one. I hadn't found anything to go with it yet. This was a Jack's Pacific Doll Magic Orange Juice Cup from 2017. I took an offer of $6 for it. These are the types of things that I'm trying to find other stuff to go with it. But, you know, my thought on a lot of these items is it's easier for me to find it in my inventory than it is to dig through all of my profit pile stuff for something to go with it. In fact, if you guys could see right now, my floor is covered with smalls. I'm sorting right now and working on smalls this week just to kind of, they're getting out of control. I need to get a lot of it processed. My best 2 sales on eBay for that 4-day period was first this mini sew penguin skeleton plush, sold for $40. And this was an instant sale, and I instantly thought, oh my goodness, did I make a mistake? But it was an international sale, so I'm assuming that they had a search for little fox plush, and when this got listed, they ended up purchasing it almost within like an hour. It was by A&A. It was 17 inches long. I want to say I paid $5 or less for it. I just picked it up at my favorite little estate sale company. I spent $25 on some towels and some plush. So I don't remember exactly how much I paid, but it sold very quickly for $69.95. And then let's get to Robert's. Robert actually had a couple of sales on Mercari and Poshmark also. First thing that sold was this Joy to the World oven pot holder. And I wanted to thank our friend Melissa, who ended up buying this, trying to help Robert get those 5 sales he needs to get, you know, past the 100 listing mark. So thank you, Melissa. And then on Mercari also, he sold this vintage Fox and the Hound color forms set from 1980. Sold for $8.95.
One more sale and I'll be
over
that top, right?
Yep. And then, funny thing with this, sold it on eBay, got a return, listed it again, and cross-listed it to Poshmark, Mercari, and probably Depop, and it sold on Poshmark almost immediately. This was an Orvis women's chenille sweater with tags, sold for $17.
One more sale on there and I qualify as not top rated, but
top rated.
Ambassador.
Ambassador. Well, no, you got to buy something.
Oh, I got to buy something.
He's got to buy something and get a love note.
Leave a love note for somebody. And it's not in this one, but in next week's, I'll have a sale on Depop to show, which is exciting. First one there.
Yep. And I started listing on Depop this morning, so we'll see how that goes. And then on eBay, he sold these Lucky Brand women's jeans for $15. 7 for All Mankind women's jeans for $19. American Eagle men's shirt sold for $10. Ooh. Hat. Y'all, I had the hats listed forever. Years and years and years on my store, and he's selling them. He sold several, not fast, but he has sold several that have been in my store forever, which is just weird.
I shipped another one this morning.
Yep. This is Primester Global Snapback Hat. Didn't sell for a lot, $7.84, but it's gone.
You know, I thought that said Prime Star the whole time I looked at it, like the old satellite TV service.
Primester or something. I don't know what that is.
I swear is it Primester or Primester? Definitely not Prime Star that I thought it was, that's for sure.
All right, this was another one of those jeans. We will not hardly be picking them up anymore. These were Venezia women's jeans, sold for $7.78, but they're gone.
And I think I'm working on a pair of them over there, getting ready to take pictures of a pair of Venezia jeans.
Why?
Because we bought them.
And we have them.
So I'm going to list them. And look, they sold, right?
They sold. All right. And then his best sale, which I think was this your international sale? These We the Free jeans?
Yes, those went to Scotland.
Yeah. These were, I picked these up at a yard sale. I want to say I paid $5 or so for them. But they are We the Free patriotic denim pants. And they sold for $36.66. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. I know that, well, we talked a lot, but I didn't have a whole lot of sales to share with you. It's picked up a little bit for me. So I just decided to go ahead and keep the video in 2, trying to get back on our normal schedule of getting videos released. But, you know, fingers crossed, March is coming, and hopefully, you know, we'll be out of this slump that we seem to be in with eBay and promotions and all the other things that have just irked me anyway. All right, y'all, time to get to work. Bye.